Hello viewers, I am Dr. Ajay Kumar Misra, welcoming you all to my YouTube channel named Computer the Way of Life. I hope you all are managing fine with your family and friends. Today we will discuss about the topic mobile computing, the ultimate approach. Friends, you all are well aware that nowadays entire world becomes a global village where mutual dependency has increased by many folds. To meet the exponential growth in demand and the challenges that human being is facing, dependability on electronic gadgets, specifically handheld devices, becomes indispensable. Desktop or non-mobile computers allow a higher degree of hardware configurability or higher computational performance, but unable to meet all the challenges that we are facing every now and then. In the changing scenario, a mobile computing device becomes the need of the day for almost every end user, whether they are in business, consumer industry, entertainment, and in specialized vertical market activities. Here, mobile refers to assets in motion and is therefore unrestricted to a given geographical location. It is a set of IT technologies, products, services, and operational strategies and procedures that enable end users to gain access to computation, information, and related resources and capabilities while mobile. Mobile may also refer to access in a fixed location via equipment that users can relocate as required but is stationary while in operation. This mode of operation is often called nomadic computing. The mobile computing provides them convenience, allowing users anywhere, anytime access to information and computational resources. Now it's a time to discuss about mobile computing. Mobile computing is a human-computer interaction in which a computer is expected to be transported during normal usage, which allows for transmission of data, voice, and video. Mobile computing involves three main concepts: mobile communication, mobile hardware, and mobile software. Here, communication include ad hoc and infrastructure networks, as well as communication properties, protocols, that is the set of rules, data formats, and concrete technologies that facilitate and support the stated services without any collision with other existing systems which offers the same services. In this, the media is unguided or unbounded, hence the overlaying infrastructure is basically radio wave oriented, that is, the signals are carried over the air to intended devices that are capable of receiving and sending similar kinds of signals. Next, hardware. Hardware includes mobile services or device components that receive or assess the service of mobility. It includes portable laptops, smartphones, tablet PCs, personal digital assistant, iPads, and many more. These devices are configured to operate in full duplex mode, that is, capable of sending and receiving signals at the same time. And finally, mobile software is the actual programs that deals with the characteristics and the requirements of mobile applications and makes the mobile components operational. This is the engine of the mobile device. Whatever we have discussed is shown in the diagrams. Here figure 1 represents the mobile communication, figure 2 represents the mobile hardware, and figure 3 represents the mobile software. Here we can observe mobile communication has spread all over the world and people are using laptop, smartphones, personal digital assistants to gain the accessibility, and it is possible due to current mobile software like iOS, Androids, Windows mobiles, Blackberries, and others. Now, before discussing more, a user must possess a clear concept that mobile computing and mobile communication are two distinct terms. Mobile communication is a framework that provides a platform and responsible for mobile computing. It includes communication devices, rule of conduct, and fitness. They are also responsible for delivering of a smooth communication process. Mobile communication can be fixed and wired or mobile and wireless. Here mobile technology allows the transmission of data, voice and video via a computer or any other wireless enabled device without having to be connected to a fixed physical link. With the advent of mobile computing, the concept of confined within one physical location has been eradicated. In mobile computing, portability is the main factor. Users are not tied or pinned to a single physical location but are able to operate from anywhere. It incorporates all aspects of wireless communication and enables the user to update documents, surf the internet, send and receive email, stream live video files, take photographs, and also support voice and video conferencing. Nowadays, there are different technologies that have emerged to support the existing computer networks all over the world. We also might have heard the term telecomputing, which is being able to work from home or the field, but at the same time accessing resources as if one is in the office. Next, history of mobile computing. The chronology of mobile computing can be summarized in phase-wise manner as during 1960s, mainframe computing was provisioned with remote access over modem-based or dial-up landline connections. In this, speed ranges between 300 to 1200 bits per second and the devices were terminals and teletypes only. Mobile terminals emerged during this era were larger, heavier and expensive in nature. In late 1970s, the development of mobile computers gained pace, but they were quite limited in nature and were based on operating systems like Complete Program for microprocessor and MS-DOS. Subsequently, early laptops, grid systems, Compass Computer 1101 came into existence. These systems were large in size, expensive and require AC power to operate. They gained popularity as their quality improves and reduced cost and were available with a refinement to the smaller notebook form with add-on internal Wi-Fi links. During early 90s, the concept of modern smartphones was developed from personal digital assistant which was designed to store and retrieve information needed for personal productivity. With the improvements in hardware and operating systems culminates the Android and iOS operating systems. During this, cellular voice, data and Wi-Fi led the smartphones available today. Subsequently, the tablet PC with a touch and pen-based interfaces came into existence and iPads was introduced by Apple where both iOS and Android models are used. During this, tablets and smartphones with larger display is available. The recent trend of mobile computing architecture is cloud-centric. Cloud-based services include software distribution, device management, data storage and sharing, and access to shared applications. Next, we will discuss about the working of mobile computing. As we know, mobile computing is the idea that users can process through mobile devices. This broad category of operations is made possible by several new innovations in information technology over the past decade. Mobile computing starts with the actual hardware inside a smartphone. It has basically three parts: a microprocessor, powers of mobile computing, memory chips provided for data storage. Apart from these, a radio frequency element handles power sourcing and other proprietary telecom technology that sends outgoing signals and receives incoming signals from a 3G, 4G or 5G wireless network. The wireless networks carry the data where it needs to go. Traditionally, data was routed through cell towers in a particular provider's physical network to another user's phone. With modern mobile computing, data is also delivered onto the internet via the provider's telecom network. This hybrid system is part of what accommodates mobile computing, where users can access individual internet sites over their smartphones. With recent advancement in mobile computing, users can now perform mobile computing on their smartphones while completing phone calls. This technology involves parallel processing of different threads for digital voice and data operations. Modern smartphones are a lot like computers with their own operating systems and sophisticated logical infrastructure, which facilitates more advanced mobile computing and the proliferation of mobile applications or apps for a multitude of functions and uses. Here figure 4 represents the working model of mobile computing, whereas figure 5 represents the functional model of mobile computing. In figure 4, you can observe users are using different types of mobile devices, and that devices are linked with the nearby base transmission stations that is communicating the required informations through the web service API, and that is again being communicated to the cloud service infrastructure and cloud service providers to gain the access. If the required information is available in that is again being retransmitted through the web service API to the nearby tower, and again it is being communicated to the intended user. Whereas in case of functional model, you can observe users are using mobile devices, and that devices are connected through the networks and through the gateways. If they have to communicate in the broader sense, then they have to again take the help of the middleware framework, that is the application framework, and the application servers that is being connected to the content server, and that content servers are fetching the data from the database, and that is again being redirected through the application server and by taking the help of the network to the users at the different locations. Next, we will discuss about the advantages of mobile computing. Mobile computing has completely changed our day-to-day activities. Following are the major advantages of mobile computing. We will discuss one after another. First, location flexibility. Mobile computing facilitates the users to work from anywhere once connectivity is established. In this, a user can work without being in a fixed position. Their mobility ensures that they are able to carry out numerous tasks at the same time and perform their stated jobs. Next, saves time. Mobile computing reduces the time consumed and the wastage of time while traveling from one point to another. One can now access all the important documents and files over a secure channel or portal and work as if they were on their own computer. It has also reduced unnecessary incurred expenses and enhanced telecommuting. Next, enhanced productivity. Users can work effectively and efficiently from whichever location they find comfortable. This in turn enhances their productivity level. Next, ease of research. Researchers has been made easier since users earlier were required to go to the field and search for facts and fed them back into the system. The remote job has made it easier for field officers and researchers to collect and feed data from wherever they are without making unnecessary trips to and fro the office to the fields. Next, entertainment. Use of multimedia, that is the video, audio, textual, animation and other form of communication, recording can now be streamed on the go using mobile computing. With the improvement and availability of high-speed data connections at a considerable cost, one can get all the entertainment they want as they will browse the internet for streamed data. It provides easy access to watch news, movies, documentaries, educational and informative materials available throughout the globe. And finally, streamlining of business processes. Globalization and liberalization has revolutionized the field of business process and creates a new dimension in terms of e-business. Looking into security issues, through secured connections, adequate measures have been put in place to ensure authentication and authorization of the users accessing the services. Some business functions can be run over secure links, and sharing of information between business partners can also take place. Meetings, seminars and other informative services are also conducted. Next slide will show the types of mobile devices used. Basing on the application's design, there are various types of mobile devices that include mobile computers, mobile phones, digital cameras, personal navigation device, mobile internet device, smart cards, wearable computers, pagers, calculators, media players. Under mobile computers, we are using smartphone, tablet computer, handheld PC, laptop, personal digital assistant, enterprise digital assistant, and ultra mobile PC. Whereas under mobile phones, we are using camera phones, feature phones, and smartphones. And when we are talking about the digital cameras, we are talking about the digital camcorder, digital still camera, digital video camera, front facing camera. And when we are talking about the wearable computers, we are discussing calculator watch, smart watch, head mounted displays. And when we are talking about the media players, we are discussing about digital media player, handheld game console, portable media players. On having many advantages, mobile computing is widely accepted by the common mass, but it also has certain limitations like expandability and replaceability, lack of bias, range and bandwidth, security standards, power consumption, transmission interference, potential health hazards, and human interface with devices. Now we will discuss one after another. First, expandability and replaceability. Unlike common traditional motherboard-based PC, the mobile computing architecture supports system on a chip which is embedded that makes it impossible for expandability and replaceability. Lack of bias. Most of the smart devices lack the proper bias which limits their boot loading capabilities, and they can only boot into the single operating system with which it came. Next, range and bandwidth. Mobile internet access is using GPRS, Edge, HSDPA, HSUPA, 3G, 4G, and recently 5G networks that is comparatively slower than direct cable connections. High-speed network wireless LANs are inexpensive but have very limited range. Then security standard. Security is a major concern while using mobile computing, as because one has to depend on public networks that are interconnected through unreliable virtual private networks. Next, power consumption. In absence of power outlet or portable generator, mobile computer devices are entirely dependent on the battery power. Mobile devices are generally compact in size, but they have to be combined with expensive batteries. Then transmission interference. Weather, terrain, and the range from the nearest single point can all interfere with signal reception. Reception in tunnels, some buildings, and rural areas is often poor. Then potential health hazards. People who use mobile devices while driving are often distracted from driving and are thus assumed more likely to be involved in traffic accidents. Cell phones may interfere with sensitive medical devices. Questions regarding the radiation from the mobile devices and their impact on health, that is, man and animals, are also a big concern. And finally, human interface with device. Usually screens and keyboards used in case of mobile devices are small, which may make them hard to use, whereas alternate input method such as speech or handwriting recognition requires training. Finally, we will discuss about the issues and challenges related to mobile computing. Mobile computing provides access to mobile devices from anywhere at any time and provides the ability when we are at motion, but at the same time undergoes many issues and challenges. There are four major challenges that mobile computing is facing: security problems, bandwidth, location aptitude, and power consumption. Here, security problems refers mobile computing operates in a heterogeneous environment that leads to different protocols issue. As mobile computing stores personal information that may be unauthorizedly used and creates profound new risk like location tracking, personal data collection, user authentication, and many more. Security concern can be related to privacy, reliability, availability, legitimate, and accountability. And when we are talking about the bandwidth, wireless networks generally use a lower bandwidth, hence, mobile computing designs need to be very concerned about bandwidth consumptions. The deliverable bandwidth per user depends on the number of users sharing a cell. The network's capacity can be measured by its bandwidth per cubic meter. This value can be improved in two ways: as maintain multiple cells at different frequencies and then limiting transmission ranges. Then the point location aptitude. Switching from one environment to another, that is infrared mode to radio mode, or from one platform to another, that is cellular mode to satellite mode, or from one vendor to another, will increase the network latency and the chance of disconnection. And finally, power consumption. Mobile computer depends on their batteries, and ideally batteries are lightweighted and unable to meet the requirement of the power consumption for longer operation times. With this, I remain. Hope you all have enjoyed it. Thank you for your patient hearing. Also suggest the topic of interest you want to explain me in future.